Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be taking on the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge. If you don't know what the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge is, it's a grueling 24-mile hike taking you over some of the highest peaks in the Yorkshire Dales, starting with Pen-y-ghent behind me, onto Whernside and then over onto Ingleborough. Let's get cracking. I've just parked here but the machine is out of order today. So if you don't know what the Yorkshire Three Peaks Challenge is, it's 24 miles in under 12 hours over some of the highest peaks in the Yorkshire Dales, taking in Pen-y-ghent, which was the first one, onto Whernside and then Ingleborough and finally back down the valley. So it's really cold this morning. The car's reading -4 on the drive down here, but it is meant to get quite nice and warm up. There's no rain forecast and minimal wind, which makes it perfect for walking and hopefully perfect for completing this challenge. There's Pen-y-ghent there, just peeking behind the brow of that hill. Today's a bit of a strange one for me today because I was meant to be climbing this with a good friend of mine in May, but he went to tackle the old man of Coniston the other day and finally admitted that he was an old man. He's got some health conditions, and as he started the ascent of the old man, he started feeling dizzy and faint, which is never a good sign for him. So he's decided to turn back and ultimately retire hiking, which is something that he's loved doing for all of his life, really. So this one is for you today, Glenn. We'll get this challenge done. I've just stopped for a minute to put the sunglasses on because that sun is absolutely blinding. It's just peaked over the top of the hill and it's just staring me directly in the face, but it is giving me a chance to look at this great view. So I don't know if you can tell in the distance, but that is the final peak we'll be bagging on the loop. Seems so close yet so far away at the moment. Just some views over the valley are amazing. I have to say the paths are really good so far. Very, very well maintained. And the route's very well signposted so far as well. Haven't really had to look at my map, as I've just said that about the paths. Look what I've just stumbled on. A little bit of a scrambly section to get to the top of this, but it's not too bad. The outline of that ridge there just reminds me so much of Sharp Edge in the Lake District on Blencathra. Just as you're coming down the A66. The route's been quite gradual so far, but as we sort of approach the base of Pen-y-ghent there, it is starting to steepen up a little bit. I can only imagine as we sort of go around the back here, it's going to get even steeper. Yeah, so my suspicions were correct. Don't know if it relates on camera, but it really picks up in gradient. Just look at them views out over the valley. So that's the first one done, Pen-y-ghent, and I looked it up, it's 694 metres, and it wasn't too bad to be honest. Quite a gradual climb, well maintained paths all the way up, with a little bit of scramble at the top. Rock is a little bit polished, but it's nothing with anybody with a reasonable level of fitness couldn't achieve. And it only took me about an hour and a half, but I've been messing around with cameras and stuff, so. This is quite nice. Downhill, it's a little bit loose, but you make some quite good progress. Quite quick. I'm not running though, Jesus. That will be a call to mountain rescue. What it did is as well, there's not a breath of wind in there. It's beautiful. I'm actually regretting wearing my long sleeve base layer now. Could have caught a bit of a tan. Never mind. We've just passed the 2 hour mark on the stopwatch. Making some good progress. There's a older guy with trekking poles just absolutely breezed past me. Not out of breath, not a bead of sweat on his head or anything. I want to know what his secret is. Like, I'm young, I'm fit, I go to the gym. Why is that? Out of breath. I'm up here dying on a little bit of incline and he's having a nice stroll in the park. I need to up my game. I'm gonna get my trekking poles out and go turbo mode. I can imagine in like heavy wind or rain or fog this could be a absolute nightmare, but today it's a dream. I couldn't have wished for better weather. Like, am I in the UK right now? See, these finger pointings are an absolute godsend. There's barely any map reading being involved so far. Paths are so well defined and there's finger pointers at every turn, which is just a absolute credit to the national park. When I stop, I'm gonna put a bit of sun cream on because I don't want to burn, especially as I start turning back towards the sun after we get up on the other peaks. Stop for a short break. Take the bottoms of my trousers off to turn them into shorts as well. Get a bit of airflow going. I feel like every video that I watched of the Yorkshire Three Peaks before I was, while I was prepping to do it, sort of missed this section out. And after they've done Pen-y-ghent, it's like they magically just appear at the viaduct, but there's quite a lot of distance in between Pen-y-ghent and the viaduct. And I think it's worth showing. It's quite nice, to be honest. So we've still got another 3 miles to go before I hit the viaduct. I might have to take some fluids on board before then, to be honest. Thought it was closer than what it was. Maybe that was just wishful thinking. Honestly, when that first alarm went off this morning, it was such a struggle to get the thought out of my head of rolling over and going back to sleep and just not coming because I had no one to go with. But what would I have done with the day otherwise? Like, I'm so glad I pushed through it because look at this, man. It's just absolutely stunning today. So we just crossed the 4 hour mark there. The viaduct's just over the brow of this hill, and I'm going to take a little break, get some more fluids in me, get something to eat before we tackle the highest peak, which is Whernside. And from here it looks like a little bit of a slog to get up to, but this is what we signed up for. There's the ice cream van. Should we get an ice cream? It would sort of be rude not to, really. Perfect, thanks now.
Have a good day.
You too. Just making my way up the track towards Whernside now, which is the second peak of the day. I think it's 736 metres, if I'm remembering right. It's the highest peak on today's route. But they're all sort of not, there's not much difference between the highest peaks around here, to be honest. It's only a few metres in between. But it's a little bit of a slog to get up to it. 4.5 miles from here to the top, so we've got some work to do. Just past the 5 hour mark there, and I'm just starting to round the base of Whernside, and I hope I'll be up to the top in the next hour or so. I don't know if that's optimistic or delusional. Could be both. Look at this here though. That sun is absolutely beaming. It's really taking it out of us. Another 1.75 miles to go to get to the top of this one. Starting to level out a little bit now, which is nice. See Pen-y-ghent all the way over in the distance. Top of Whernside's just up there. And Ingleborough off down that way. Just crossed over it now at 6, and I'm almost to the top of Whernside. Keep stopping to look down the views of the valley. Incredible. And that was Whernside. A little bit of a slog to get up to. I had sort of 5-10 minutes rest just at the top there, so I want some more water. Had a little bit more to eat. Give the legs a little bit of a rest before the final one, which is just over there in the distance. There's Ingleborough. I think this one's going to be a killer, to be honest. Finally back down on the valley floor from descending Whernside, and we've just crossed the 7-hour mark there. Genuinely starting to think, am I going to make this? Looking over at Ingleborough, just wondering how long it'll take to ascend it, if I'll make the 12 hours car to car or not. I think it might be tight. There's steps that they've put in on the descent there on Whernside, and there's such an unnatural cadence that I feel like it slowed me down a lot, because I feel like it adds a lot of stress on the knees. Just like the ones coming down Ben Nevis, there's such an unnatural shape. I think it actually might be time to stop shortly and break out the hiking poles, help on the ascent and descent of this final one. It looks like it's going to be a steep one. Now that's a sight for sore eyes. Just picked up a couple of refills. Starting to run a bit low on my own. That's a godsend, to be honest. So we've got 2 miles to the summit of Ingleborough from here. And we've just crossed the 7.5 hour mark. I think we've got this. I'm just approaching the 8-hour mark now, and the climb's going to start turning really steep from here. So I think I've said it about 3 times, but I'm actually going to get my sticks out now. The legs are starting to feel a bit tired. So we'll take all the help we can get. Probably should have got them out a lot longer. I probably should have got them out a long time ago, but I'm stubborn. Third and final one, onto the descent now, back to the car park, the stopwatch. So we're on 9 hours and 23 minutes, so pretty good going. I feel like this is the one where most people get lost and go wrong on, because they don't realise that you have to backtrack on yourself, and then once you sort of dip down off the plateau, the path veers to the right, back down to the car park. I think people end up usually carrying on and end up down the wrong side of the valley. You just check the map, I've just got under 4 miles left before we get back to the car. I think this might be tight, to be honest. I was doubting myself before. I think I'll do it, but I think it'll be close. So we've not long crossed the 10-hour mark. Got about 2.5 miles to go, maybe just a little bit more. before we get back to where we need to be. I'm feeling good about this one. Legs are tired now though. And the boots are rubbing a little bit. I don't know if it's the socks. Shouldn't be the boots because they're well worn in. I've had these for years now. Probably at least 4 or 5 years, I would say. And they come with me on most hikes. Oh, this valley just seems to go on forever. I think as soon as I see the village, I'll get a bit of a spring in my step. But for now, I'm just plodding along. Last mile to go. Just see the village in the distance. Countdown's on, we're in the final hour now. Will I make it? Just ticked over that 11-hour mark. And I think we've got half a mile to go, maybe a bit more. I'm really struggling now. It's starting to take its toll, that's for sure. Well, that's it. I'm back at the car park. That was tough. 11 hours and 20 odd minutes. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So I guess some final thoughts on the hike then. I liked it. I'm glad I got myself out of bed this morning and sort of fought those demons and just ignored them and didn't listen. A little bit disappointed with my time, but I haven't hiked properly like that since May last year when I did the coast to coast. So I'm a little bit out of practice, but to still come in under 12 hours, I think it's respectable. Yeah, the Yorkshire Dales, beautiful, beautiful place. You should definitely visit. And if you plan on doing the Yorkshire Three Peaks as well, like each mountain that you climb poses its own little challenge. They're all unique and different in their own little way, which keeps the hike interesting. So yeah, if you've liked this video, please drop a like and subscribe for more hiking and wild camping. I'll see you on the next one.